Hello, everybody. In our parsha, as Yaakov contemplates the impending reunion with his brother slash enemy, take your pick, Esav, he is gripped with fear. Vayira Yaakov ma'od vayetzer lo. Chazal tell us that Yaakov employed all the tools in his arsenal, prayer to Hashem, preparing for battle with Esav should the need arise, and also opting to endeavor to appease him with gifts. Yaakov tries everything because he is gripped with fear as to what might happen in their reunion. Kli Yakar and many, many other Mefarshim raise the question, where is Yaakov Avinu's sense of bitachon im HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Why doesn't he trust God who had previously promised to him when he was first running from Esav, from Eretz Yisrael to the house of Besuel? Why doesn't Yaakov show more faith and a sense of trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu? And there are many, many answers that are given. I think on the surface of things, when Yaakov proclaims, Katonti mikol hachasadim umikol ha'emes asher asisa esavdecha, I have been diminished by and because of all the acts of chesed, perhaps undeserved chesed that God has shown me. As a result, whatever merit I may have accrued has now been dissipated, and by what merit do I deserve God's continued protection from the hands of Esav should he wish to do me harm? The problem with this approach, however, is been there, done that. In the beginning of Parshas Vayetze, we have the very same thing, where Yaakov Avinu, after having been promised God's protection, he wonders whether, in fact, he will deserve it. And therefore, he seems to strike a deal, but it's not really such, with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Im yeh Elohim imadi ushmarani baderech hazeh asher anochi olech. If God will be with me as I'm running away from Esav to an uncertain future in Padan Aram, if God will be with me, vaya Hashem li leilokim. It's not a deal, but rather what Yaakov is saying is, I will remain loyal to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I know I don't deserve his protection. And what happens after that is God again promises him, don't worry, I will be with you. So where's Yaakov's bitachon in the divine promise? How dare he consider or doubt whether God's promise will hold true? And I think that perhaps one of the interesting alternative understandings of Katonti mikol hachasadim umikol ha'emes is, it's not Yaakov saying I have been diminished, but rather I have to diminish myself. What do I mean? When someone feels that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has been good to him and is close to him, there is a potential for the person to become somewhat braggartly, at least within his own neshama, where he begins to believe, I deserve this. This is coming to me, kutmir. And because otherwise, why would God show me such benevolence? And therefore, Yaakov is, in essence, not making a declaration, but rather a commitment. I know that if HaKadosh Baruch Hu continues to shower his protection upon me, that what it demands of me is to be even more humble, klapei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And therefore, he's making a declaration, Katonti mikol hachasadim umikol ha'emes. My reaction to all the kindness that you have shown me is to realize how great you are and how I need to humble myself, We spoke about this in the previous shir on Vayishlach, that people have to see their own humility, their own mortality, when they see how close they are to God. Yaakov Avinu is the paradigm of this message. It's dafka that he has full belief in HaKadosh Baruch Hu that doesn't stop him from taking the practical steps, unlike some people today who believe that by dint of their Torah learning, they don't have to do anything to protect themselves because Torah ipso facto, magna umatzla, protects and saves them. Yaakov understood he has to do what he has to do, ein somchin al hanes, but he also trusts that when push comes to shove, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will crown his efforts with success, and that as HaKadosh Baruch Hu continues to shower his protection on Yaakov and to demonstrate his closeness to Yaakov, Yaakov's appropriate response is to not let it get to his head, but rather to show the proper respect and humility for God's loving kindness. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach.